Welcome everyone to week 6. This is where we begin to find out who the real contenders and pretenders are in the league. So, last week I went 1, 2, and 1, which brings my overall record so far this year to 13, 12, and 1. So let's stop messing around and let's get this train rolling. So on to week 6. I have 5 picks for you this week. So let's get started. I like the Seahawks minus 6.5 over the Panthers. Carolina and Cam Newton have been living off the dessert cart so far this year, fattening up on all the cupcakes of the league by playing Jacksonville, Houston, New Orleans, and Tampa Bay. Well, that's about to change this week as they take on one of the heavyweights at their place. I think Seattle will keep Newton in the pocket and he'll have to get rid of the ball before he wants. And the Seattle D-line will be all over him, and the Seattle secondary will be able to jam all his receivers, and Cam will get frustrated. And the Seahawks, even though they blew a 17-point lead last week, their offensive line is starting to come around, and they led their backs to over 200 yards rushing against the Bengals. And they're getting beast mode back in the mix this week. So I think they'll even their record to 3-3 after the game. For my next pick, I like the Vikings minus 3.5 over the Chiefs. Minnesota is coming off their bye week, and in their last outing they kept up with the Broncos and almost could have won that game. And I expect Bridgewater to have a big game and use his scramble lean ability and wear out the pass rushers of the Chiefs. And AP will have a big game against their defense. And the edge rushers of Griffin and company will give fits to the O-line of the Chiefs. And the Chiefs without Charles, they'll be missing their heartbeat of the team, which will show up in the game. For my next pick, I like the Cardinals minus 3 over the Steelers. Last Monday night, the Steelers' defense was on the field for over 40 minutes. I don't know how they won it, but miracles do happen. But so they had to fly back all the way back to the East Coast while Arizona stayed in West Virginia after the game after the blowout victory in Detroit. So the time difference won't matter. And I expect the Cardinals to load up on the line a image to stop Bell and Vic from running. And that way, Peterson and Matthew and the rest of the secondary will be able to jam the Steelers' speedy receivers and make a long day for them. And this Arizona team has too many fireworks on the outside, and Bruce Arians knows the Steelers coaching staff inside and out, so he can pick up a few things on the coaching staff. For my next pick, I like the 49ers plus 2.5 over the Ravens. Last Sunday night, Colin Kaepernick showed me a lot playing against not great, but average Giants defense. He got back to his running ways and throwing downfield. I look for that to continue this week for Kaepernick as he is getting back Vernon Davis, which should help, and the running attack should be able to keep up against this Ravens defense. These aren't your granddaddy's Ravens defense like in past years. They have so many holes on their defense. It's like a package of Swiss cheese. So, and they have Torrey Smith and Bolden, who used to play for them. So I think they can give some information to the coaching staff to help them get the victory. And what you might not know, San Francisco might be 1-4, but they also played Ben Roethlisberger, Carson Palmer, Aaron Rodgers, and Eli Manning in 4 straight weeks. Who else can come out of that 0-4? You tell me. Now for everyone's favorite time of the week. If you hear that ringing, I hear it all the way from the Meadowlands of East Rutherford, New Jersey. Yep, that's right. I like the Redskins plus 6.5 over the Jets. Both these teams are built almost the exact same way. So I think 6 points is way too much for the Jets. But the Redskins showed me a lot in battling the high-flying Falcons, and they held Matt Ryan under 200 yards passing and forced 2 interceptions by him. And the Redskins are coming together as a team, not like in Redskins teams past. And if not for the Redskins receiver falling down in overtime, things could have turned out differently. And they could be getting a boost by the return of Deshaun Jackson, so they'll be able to stretch the field and open up things for the running game. And the Redskins had some bumps and bruises for some of their players, but I expect all of them to play, if not 2 out of the 3. And don't get me wrong, the Jets have been playing well, but they haven't played against a team with a good defensive line or offensive line, which is about to change in playing with the Redskins. And I think Fitzpatrick will throw an interception or two because he's known to be very careless with the ball. And I think Cousins will manage the game more than Fitzpatrick will. And the Jets will be stuck on the runway instead of taking off, as they'll have to call on Nick Folk more often than they want to kick field goals instead of celebrating touchdown dances. So at the end of the day, the Jets will drop to 3-2, and the Redskins will even the record. So for a quick recap, here are my picks, and thank you for watching, and feel free to subscribe to my channel, and for any questions, just send me an email.